So I stumbled upon this like couple of weeks ago. My sister got a TV, but it wasn't the TV she wanted, and she got something that was not cheap either, but it was not the one she wanted because she didn't have the money for the one she wanted. And she asked me a question because she knows that I love talking about personal finance. She said, "This is not what I wanted, but is it okay to upgrade to something better in the future?"
Hello, guys. Welcome to ATS Simplify Personal Finance Podcast. Here we talk about personal finance, and you can tune in to get personal finance tips.
And that was a very good question. At least one thing I know for sure, she's not, you know, she doesn't have money dysmorphia. So she clearly knows where our capacity is. And she's not trying to exceed, even though she wants something that looks really nice, she's not trying to exceed what she can actually afford. So the question she asks is like, is it okay for me to upgrade? That's a very good question. And that's when you start using the good, better, best rule for spending. You ask yourself, is this something you want to upgrade? Does it need an upgrade? Because you need to know why you're getting this. What value does this add to your life? Are you really the kind of person that enjoy using this? That's when you know, okay, maybe I should upgrade this or not. It's important you know. And I talked about the good, better, best spending rule is more like an assessment where you ask yourself questions before buying something, because this helps you be more satisfied with your purchase. You have less regrets. You won't say, oh, why did I get this expensive one when I could have gotten a basic version? It would have done the same thing. Or you say, oh, why did I buy the cheaper one when I could have gotten the better option? It probably would have lasted longer. Things like this, you can just use the good, better, best rule to help you plan and spend efficiently. So the answer to our question is simple. It depends. You have to do the assessment. Those of you that have the same struggle or might come across the same struggle, I'm going to give you the same answer that I gave to my sister. How much do you value this particular item you want to spend money on? You might say, yes, you want to value it a lot. You might say you really need it. But the truth is, you might not really value it as much as you think. And some of the service that you may get from certain offer, you may not know the value of the offer. You might say you value it, but maybe you just value a basic, function. You don't need the premium function.
We took a break, so I can tell you thank you for listening so far. And if you like this content, do follow us on Spotify and leave a like. And with that being said, let's continue.
So there are some things that you just spend okay, you just get the good option, something that works fine. You don't want to spend a lot of money on something you don't care about. That's when you start wasting money, right? When you spend money on things that you don't care about. And you'll be asking yourself, why do I want to buy something I don't care about? It's very possible. You might want to buy, let's make an example. Almost everyone owns an iPhone, but not everyone listens to music. When Spotify does is their rap, you will notice that people listen to music at different rates. Yours, you just listen to your music for only 450 minutes in the whole entire year, and the people that are racking in thousands. They're racking in thousands of minutes on Spotify. You don't listen to music the same way those people listen to music, right? That's just an example. So you're just going to need a good functional headphone. If you're spending hundreds of dollars on a headphone, it's just insane because you don't want to use it. Then we have better option. This is where most of your purchases are supposed to be, because you're not buying the cheap option. You're not also buying the premium and the most expensive option. So you're buying it for things that should be practical, things that should be functional. Okay, you just want it to work very well. You don't want it to break. You're going to use it long enough. Yeah, but there's nothing special about it. There's no extra experience. There's no, premium parts to it. That's the better option. Then the best option is Yes, it comes with the durability, with an extra thing like, oh, the experience, or it's premium, it's different, it's special, or is one of a kind. Those kind of extra parts of it may not be necessary. That's how we use the good, better, best. So in a situation when you buy something just because, oh, you want it for now and you can't get the best or what you want or what you call the best, it's totally fine to buy the better option for now. As long as your goalpost doesn't keep shifting, it's fine. What I mean by goalpost shifting is you upgrade now. The next thing you want, the next better thing or the next best thing. No, that's not how it works. If you're going to keep upgrading, then you are in a lifestyle inflation. Then you're actually inflating your lifestyle. You're always looking to get the best option.
We took a break, though I can tell you thank you for listening so far. And if you like this content, do follow us on Spotify and leave a like. And with that being said, let's continue.
The experience, because people tend to use experience as a reason to keep on inflating our lifestyle. People always use, oh, I tend to enjoy it. It's not always about enjoyment. Most of the time, you also look at the value. Is it really giving value? It's just like you upgrading iPhone all the time. When a new iPhone comes out, one day you need to sit down and ask yourself, what is the extra value this new set of iPhones release bring? Or are you just upgrading for the sake of upgrading? That's how lifestyle inflation works. You need to sit down and ask yourself, whenever I upgrade, is there something different? Or am I just doing it for status? Ask yourself that question. Are you just upgrading for the sake of upgrading, or this an extra value that's added? Meaningful, not just a small tweak or like a 2.0. You have to see the actual difference. So that's what I need to lay out. You need to understand that when you buy something that's okay for now, you upgrading later on it shouldn't be a continuous thing, okay? It's actually strategic to buy what you can afford now and wait till you can afford the other thing later. Because that's how you should live your life, okay? You should only purchase what you can afford at the moment. But you being that cycle, always upgrading whenever you increase income, is something you want to avoid. It's something you should notice quickly and you say, oh, I'm seeing a pattern here. This should end. So upgrading all the time, not good. You upgrading when it's necessary, good. You using upgrading as a strategy in the sense that you only buy what you can afford at the moment, then wait till you can afford something you really want, then you upgrade. That's another story. So there are 3 ways upgrading could occur, and you have to be careful that you are doing it right and you're not, inflating your lifestyle.
That's it for today's episode. And if you found this helpful, don't just listen and disappear. Over this podcast on your mark, like this episode and leave a comment with your biggest takeaway or question. Sharing this episode with a friend could literally help them make better money decisions. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode of 8S Before Personal Finance.